used for. All right. Now this turntable that you see was built in 1928. It was built by the American Bridge Company out of Ambridge, Pennsylvania. Now that's out around Pittsburgh. It was actually built for the Reading Company. It was used in West Cressona for the Reading's shops there. And it was used for several years until about the 1930s, till the Great Depression hit, and they didn't have as much traffic then. So what they decided to do was they decided to dismantle the bridge and actually keep it in storage. And there are other shops, the St. Clair shop was nearby, so they were able to use the turntable there to service their trains. Now this lay in a warehouse for several years until about 1947, when the Reading saw that it needed another turntable. It was using an 85-foot long turntable in Bridgeport, and they needed a 100-foot long turntable to turn some of their newer locomotives. So what they did was they dismantled the old one and they installed the new one. And that lasted until about 1967. And around that time, they saw that they really didn't have any use for it anymore, so it was sold for scrap. And it was sold to the Loria brothers. But the Loria brothers foresaw that this could actually be used at a historic site. So they actually offered it to the state of Pennsylvania, which at the time was considering building a railroad museum. And they eventually decided upon Strasburg, and the turntable was installed in 1970. And it was one of the first pieces here at the museum. The museum opened its doors in 1975. All right, and what we'll do is I'll have Nick turn our turntable here. First of all, he has to remove the dog bone here. If you guys aren't familiar, the dog bone is used on either side. If you're moving a locomotive onto the turntable, what you want to do is put that dog bone out so that the locomotive doesn't move. Because sometimes when it goes onto the turntable, it might move it a little bit. So that's why they add the dog bones at either end to prevent it from moving.
What's that truck?
Yep.
Over there. Where'd the turntable come from?
To that one now. See? See that's how they do it? It was here. Yeah, it was right
See
here.
how he lined it up there?
How he lined straight, see? And that thing is to stop the train from moving because the train will be sitting right now. Here now. Train can go in any other track.
All right.
It's like a spider.
Just to give you a little technical information here, this is operated by two 25 horsepower motors, one on either end. And you can see the electrical lines here. That's what powers the turntable. All right, and there are actually 8 wheels. There's 4 wheels on this side and 4 wheels on this side. And they actually go around this rail and this around the edge there.
What happens when you get a lot of snow?
Oh, well, we don't usually use it in the snow, so I don't know